the lines that they produce and their patterns and all of that. So I did have some advanced knowledge, so to speak. But about, I would say 2.5 years ago, we did approach them and ask if they would be interested in having a US distributor. They haven't been in the US. I think they may have dabbled in it a little bit, maybe 20 years ago, but we have been in partnership with them, promoting it to the US market now for the past couple of years. And we're really happy with the way it has started to be more recognizable in the US, yet still a brand that is very approachable. I think that both of you as retailers would say that you'll find customers will give you that feedback. It's a very approachable brand. And
what do you mean by like approachable? Like, elaborate if you would.
There's a lot of color. There's a lot of options in their lines, whether you carry one line or we bring in almost 26. We bring in about 26 of their 47-ish lines. But the price point is excellent. The quality is excellent. Their branding is really, their branding is really very good. And their art director is amazing. She's got a beautiful eye. I know we're going to talk about patterns a bit. And so you see all of that in collaboration with their brand when you see it on the shelf. It's a very, the brand itself is very approachable. And again, as I said, I've been using it for 20 years. And when I walk into the yarn store every day, I could go into that store every day. The yarn that I'm always drawn to is theirs. And I think part of it is because every line has about 40 colors. So you're not just going to find, all the lovely neutrals. You'll find a lot of very bright and vibrant colors there as well. And it makes it a very fun line to show. And I hope your customers find that as well.
Oh, they're great, Lori.
I only have the one line for now. I have the summer yarn. That's the one I wanted to get in right away. We're doing a sweater project and the timing was absolutely perfect. I'm using Lena. Do you have that too, Wendy?
Yes, we do. Right. We just got it in. It's great. People are loving it.
It's a linen and a little bit of cotton and a little bit of rayon.
Viscose. Yeah.
Viscose.
Yeah, sure. And it's one of those yarns that we tell everybody you should have this yarn. And sometimes we get we don't do so well with those kind of fibers or whatnot. And inevitably they always come back and ask for that yarn. Lena is one of those extremely versatile yarns. It's one of my personal favorites.
It's really nice. It's worsted. Do you feel like it's worsted?
I would say DK light worsted.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's probably, I don't have it in front of me, but I would guess it's probably about, 18 or 19 stitches to 4 inches. You have it on the yarn there, so you can tell me if I'm close. And I also typically needle up. I want to say they may say 3.5 or 4 millimeters for that yarn.
I think that's, and I think that makes it a DK. I think that we've been knitting it more densely. Even for summer sweaters, because it has nice drape to it, but not drape because like a cotton drapes because it's super heavy, and the rayon piece drapes because it has no body. But the 3 fibers together are pretty light and drapey in themselves, not because they're dragged down by weight.
It's a beautiful drape. It really is. And I made a pattern. I mean, I knit a sweater for myself. It wasn't one of Sandnes Garn's patterns. It was Streak, actually. And it was, but before we were carrying their yarn. And I get stopped all the time. And I think I've knit that sweater now at least 4 times, and only one of them is for me. And part of it is that it does drape beautifully. So it does sort of lend itself to just a lovely garment.
Are we going to talk about patterns, or should we talk about yarn?
We can talk about patterns if you want. I feel they go hand in hand. And one of the things I think is really important to know about Sandnes Garn is that they are not just yarn manufacturers, they're a design house. And they are well known in Scandinavia for their prolific and beautiful designs. They produce about 25 catalogs a year. And every catalog has between 9 and maybe 15 patterns in it. Some are for children, some are for women, some are, now they have a couple men's catalogs, and some are family collections. They'll be men, women, and kids. But their patterns are very on trend, and yet at the same time, they tend to be very traditional. You know, you'll find a lot of that. So you'll see some catalogs are very traditional, like their Marius pattern, which is recognizable all over the world, or it's very modern Scandinavian.
Hold on.
I don't know if you're going to see this or not, but this is the.
That's a Marius.
Share screen. Let me, if I can pin you.
This is the Marius.
That is.
And you, is that, there you go. Is that better? Can you both see me? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Okay.
So that's traditionally knit in Peer Gynt, which is one of their oldest and most recognized yarn lines, but that catalog in particular, Tama 61, is they sort of reinvented it with some of their more contemporary yarns. It's knit in coast, it's knit in brushed alpaca and alpaca wool, which we love that yarn. Alpaca wool is also one of my favorite yarns.
And then they do it so much. I like how they do it for the kids, and then they just they riff on it, and it's nice.
Yes, they're very, yes, you'll find there's always that blend of fashion forward, yet tradition, you know, in a lot of their patterns.
And they'll do just like mittens with it.
So let's try this again. Hold on. I'm going to repin you. There you go. Oh, so cute. So is this an old book?
Really adorable.
No, this is, that's Tama 61. And I want to say that was from
Love this.
2020. But it may have been, you know, winter. When I say winter, I mean, it was probably like earlier in the year of 2020. That book probably came out. And it's a beautiful
Great one. I love that sweater, and I love what they've done with it.
So do you have to have, all right, so you have to carry, this retailer has to sell the yarns that are in that book.
That's correct. And you can only get them from the retailer. So they are not on Ravelry. They would have to come to you to get the catalogs. And the catalogs are, you know, for, like I said, 9 to 15 patterns. They're very well priced. And really their goal is to get the consumer to enjoy using the yarn. And it really just goes hand in hand. They feel very strongly about having that connection between the fiber and the design as well.
Leslie, Wendy, do you carry like a lot of the books?
We have about 3 or 4.
Because I haven't.
We have ones that are particular to the lines. We have Kos, we have alpaca wool, we have tin silk mohair.
Oh, I have to add your pin again. I think you're going to need, one of you two is going to have to show, because I only have this Lena, which is very pretty, and it's a beautiful feathered yarn, but I don't have any of it. I don't have any tinsel.
Wendy said, I don't have yarn within reach of me, but Wendy does. I can see
it. I do have yarn in reach.
All right,
but I don't have, I mean, I know that carries so much more.
I'm going to pin.
This is tin silk mohair.
Hold on, we need to do this. I'm going to take Lori away so you can really see the tinsel. You can't really see the sparkly.
It's not sparkly.
No, so that's the thin silk mohair.
Oh, the TYNN?
It's Tynn. We can do a little Norwegian lesson too. I feel like I should.
Yeah, I could really use that.
It'd be coming handy every single day of my life.
So tin is the correct word. It's what it says on there, and tin is thin in English.
Colors are beautiful.
Oh,
And the colors are beautiful. They have also they have a collaboration with Petite Knit, and I know both of you have a lot of those knitters who do follow her designs and look for
yeah,
the.
we're doing a lot with Petite Knit. A lot of people are using her designs with this yarn.
Coming and looking for the yarns.
What yarn is that? What yarn
This is Kos. This is really lovely.
COS?
KOS.
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 Oh, that's the one that I just saw the free pattern of the month.
Yes, the free pattern of the month
From
was
the Norwegian for the Lake of the Dead or the Dead Lake movie.
Yes, it was from a
It's like
it was a horror movie, and they designed 2 sweaters for it, and that was one of them is the free pattern of the month this month. And yes, Kos and Thin Silk Mohair together are
this is lush. This is like really lovely to use together.
She did the Petite Knit, did the it was a vest. I want to say it's the holiday slipover.
Right.
Was done in Kos and
Was it the Sunday vest? No, I'm thinking of
sweater. But the sweat. Oh, so now Kos, is that like a tube?
It is. It's a sock, and they blow. It's baby alpaca gets blown into that sock, so it's like a tube. And it is, as a matter of fact, I think the holiday slipover is double. I think it's double Kos and a strand of mohair.
Wow.
It's really, it's a fast knit, which is always good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also super squishy and yummy. It's just a really.
We had a few people using Kos for the glamping blanket that Casapinka did.
What?
Yeah, it came out beautifully. I wish I had one here, but I don't. I had one here for a while, and then
I bet it's really light.
It's lush, and it shows the work, because you think it's kind of fuzzy and it might not, but it's really has nice definition in it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful yarn.
It's really beautiful. So
yes.
Where was I?
And it's being released in black. That's going to be a brand new. I know.
Oh,
look
really?
Yes, we'll have it.
Wow.
So we have we just a word on yarn and deliveries. We maybe so that people understand too why sometimes you don't have something. I think we've all learned a lot of patience during COVID, and getting yarn onto flights is sometimes tricky, even if it's ready for us. It doesn't mean it's always ready for the airlines. And so we have we just got a delivery of Lena and some other things, and Double Sunday, which is the newest line that's being released with Petite Knit, which is a DK non-superwash merino. That will be, we expect, in about 10 days. And so the new black Kos will be in that shipment.
well, hopefully you can bring it along with you when you come visit us during Wool Walk.
Oh, yes, I
We
will.
hope that
Definitely.
Double Sunday comes.
Yes, we'll definitely bring some of that.
I'm gonna check it out.
When are you going to Blue Purl for Wool Walk?
The 18th, right?
Sunday,
Yeah.
the first Sunday.
Just as a shameless plug for you, what are your hours during the Wool Walk?
We're still in flux about that. We're still in flux about a lot of things because of COVID. But I think Saturday and we're opening Sunday. I think 10 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday, and then
Seems
we'll
like
have
a
a
lot.
late night in there and whatnot. But
So do you find, Lori, that people, what are your, not like what are your best sellers? That's not the right question for our retail customers. What do customers like the most? What is their favorite yarn? Is that the better way to phrase it?
So, it's been very interesting, and I guess it also depends on the season, right? Right now, Lena is like, I could not have enough of it right now.
Neither could we.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it seems no matter how early we get it, and we thought we really planned early for it, it's gone. And even the shipment we just got in after filling all the back orders for our retailers, we've got much less than when we started on Friday. So we'll be putting that online. But Lena, of course, at this time of year. And I find what's interesting is we have Scandinavians who find us, and Scandinavians prefer the fingering weight of Lena, which is thin Lena, but not Americans. And I'm in that category as well. I actually prefer Lena myself, but depending on the time of year, as we head into fall, for sure, it's hard for me to say because we sell a fair amount of everything, really. And
I'm going to grab something here.
Yeah, it depends on your knitter, Purl and Smart, which are really both the same yarn. It's 100% Norwegian wool. The only difference is Smart is superwash. And so it depends on your preference, but we sell, and Purl is one of their foundation yarns, but we sell tons of it. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Now, which one is
this? Is Lena.
This is Lena.
Beautiful.
And this is just this is what I can fit in my hands.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
The colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
And their new catalog. So the summer catalog is 2104. Okay. That's the women's. We got them on Friday. So I have some available. Yes. And
bring those along. That would be wonderful.
I'll bring those to you, of course. And yes, those are, so the patterns are beautiful. The kids catalog, so the women's catalog has Lena, and of course it'll have the thin Lena. Usually it has some duo and Mandarin Petite, but I think this year it's just the Mandarin Petite, which is their fingering weight cotton. And the kids catalog has been printed, so we should have it also in the next delivery. We'll have the kids summer and then baby summer.
I see them putting up individual patterns, even, online at all in the future.
So they will not ever be online because they always want the customer coming to you.
Okay.
It's very important to them and it's very important to us. Our goal is to support the local yarn stores. I mean, it's just, it's important that we support small business. And so patterns will only ever be available through you, but they are reworking their entire library. So they will be available to us as single patterns, and then we'll be able to provide them to you. So if you want to create kits, if you want to, whatever,
fantastic, yeah,
right, special
get that
collaboration with those, you can.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're working on. And their goal for that was August, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be September, just with the way everything has been going. I mean, I think in the US, we've been very busy with yarn and they cannot produce enough of it fast enough. It's been remarkable.
Well then.
Yeah.
Are you the first one to bring it over?
So I believe at one point in time, someone did, I believe it was their Canadian retailer tried to sell to the US market. And when I say that, it's got to be at least 15 years because like I said, I've been bringing it home from Norway in my suitcase. I have never been able to find it here. So I think at one point in time they did try, but it's almost impossible to sell to another market like that. Like I could not sell to Canada. I mean, this is a very hands-on business. It would be very hard to.
I feel like, I gotta say, I feel like I have knit with it or they've seen their patterns from back in the day. I don't even want to say how long ago that was. Maybe like through a Vogue knitting, maybe mail order before the internet, kind of. Like you could get, I feel like I could get it and I'm familiar with it from back in the day and I don't know how. It wasn't new to me. It wasn't, and I know I've knit with it and Lord knows I have no idea how it was, but I guess that's irrelevant. The patterns I want to pin myself because I have the two catalogs for Sisu. Do you have Sisu, Wendy?
No.
It is the catalog itself it's a kid's catalog. It is adorable. I'm just going to show you I'm going to pin myself. Hold on.
So Sisu is always their first catalog of the year is a kids Sisu catalog, and
Look.
it's always adorable.
Look at that pattern. I like it so great. I love that.
beautiful.
Hold on. And then there were the patterns in this are just like simple, really adorable. Like I love that yarn. And then,
So-
oh, look, wait. Oh, could you die?
No, they're super cute.
They're
Their
really, really
designs
cute.
are amazing, and their photography, they put those together really, really well.
And back to Lena. That's their cover model.
Oh, that's
in
really
brown
pretty.
Lena.
Mhm.
It's just so pretty. And it just got really pretty drape. And there was another pattern I wanted to show.
Wendy, I'm bringing a sample of that up for Wool Walk.
Oh, good.
Not
And
bad.
I'm also having a sample made of the Tyrrell, the crop, although I'm not making it cropped. Look how pretty that is.
It's so pretty. The lace is so pretty in this,
It is, yeah.
in the Lena. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What should we get in for? What are your favorite? What are your favorite yarns to knit with?
For well, alpaca wool for sure. First of all, I like a fast knit, so because who has enough time for
Don't look at me.
So I do love alpaca wool. It is absolutely one of my favorites. It just is. It's just a beautiful yarn, and it's versatile. You can use it. I mean, you don't have to use it for their patterns. You can use it for anything. But it's just a great yarn.
And a billion colors.
And a billion colors. Every line has, like I said,
Oh, what you got, Wendy? You got to give me a
This is
heads
the
up so I can
alpaca
show you.
wool.
Hold on. I got to add your pin. Hold on.
This is alpaca wool.
Oh, look at that.
I love that yellow.
You want to
Yeah, I
get,
love that yellow too.
you want to give me a little, give the customer a little, recitation on what the label says? Like what's your gauge? What's in it? It's wool and alpaca.
Let me see. It's 65 alpaca, 35 wool. It is
Got 50 grams? Most of your skates are 50 grams, right?
100
They're
meters.
all 50 grams for the most part.
50
It's
grams,
very
100
rare that it's,
meters.
yeah.
So it's like
Five,
Aran-ish,
oh, 7, right? About 7.
worsted Aran-ish
It's worsted. It's
sweater.
worsted.
It wants to be a sweater.
Yeah, I made a nice, I don't have the colors. I made a nice baby sweater. Oh, the colors aren't here. It was adorable.
I want to see the sweater.
I don't have it. I gave
You're
it.
killing me.
I
where
gave
your-
it
where your samples,
away. I
Lori?
gave it away.
We
Where are your
gave,
sweaters,
Something like
Lori?
these two or something like that. But the
Where are your
blue-
samples, Laura?
oh God, nothing here.
Killing me.
They're in the office. I quickly came home so I could eat something and at least be, not
But
break down.
You're going to bring the samples to Blue Pearl though, right? So people
Yes,
can.
I'm going to bring samples to Blue Pearl. And actually we've had quite a few people come to us because we were at VKL, the last one that was in January of 2020. And Julie from Coco Nets, she used Sandnes Garn for all of her classes at VKL. So a lot of I know that that's where Wendy found it, right?
Mhm.
And that's where we do get a lot of people say, oh yes, I used it with Julie. So they've tested it there as well. It's a fantastic yarn.
It's a great for I had someone make, a man came in and made one of these with
Yep.
it. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. And just a lot of a baby blanket was made, a beautiful baby blanket with this. Everything.
And
Everything.
the other thing that's
But I
really,
really do like, I think it's really soft.
it's very soft.
super
And
soft.
I will say that about their alpaca, even their 100% alpacas
Mhm.
are really very soft. A lot of times people will say, oh, well, is it prickly? And it really isn't. I find their yarns are really very wearable. And the other ones you were asking about fall, the Pearkin for sure. I mean, I would say I feel like that's just a good basic. Everybody loves like a wool sweater. It will last through anything. It's like, you know, iron is another really
Can
good
you
one.
throw that in the wash, or is that a wash thing, or?
They can all, so I'm glad you're asking about that, because Scandinavians in general don't wet block. And Sandnes Garn does not recommend wet blocking either. They would prefer that you follow the directions on their label. Now, having said that, I do not, the 30 degrees on there is Celsius, and I don't do that ever, because that would scare me. But still, they have tested it, and I trust them. But they don't wet block, they steam block, all Scandinavians, which I love because I'm lazy and I hate waiting for things to dry. So I'm like, good, let's steam block it, and I can walk away and I'm done.
Okay.
Okay. What else we got? What else do we want to ask?
Well, you have brushed alpaca. I'm kind of interested in your brushed alpaca.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
How do you use it? I mean, how do you incorporate it into things?
So same thing. They can do, and I'm pretty sure it's in that catalog. That they just did for Easter now, that lovely yellow, like what you're wearing. They did an Easter version of one of the Marius patterns, and it's a strand of brushed and a strand of cos. They did that. But frequently they do it all by itself, and they have loads of patterns for it, or they'll double it sometimes if you want like a really plush garment. But it's beautiful to knit with.
Is it like a mohair?
It's a Suri alpaca. So it's got a lot more fiber than a mohair would, you know, it's very soft. And it knits up on a larger needle than you would expect. I want to say like a 5 millimeter, which is, I'm not good with US.
It's an 8.
It's an 8, right? I don't, the US stuff just,
So is it fluffy like a mohair?
It is very fluffy. It's a fluffy fiber, but it's got a lot more, sorry, I have
you were waiting.
but I have, they're fluffy. I think that's, maybe she's protesting. But yeah, so it has a lot more fiber. So it's got, no, I don't have one here either. Wait a second. I wonder if I do. Hold on. Let me see if I've got one handy.
We're not going anywhere.
All right, let me look.
Because I did not know this until very recently, but that there are actually mohair allergies, and people can knit with alpaca, but not mohair.
I'm looking for it.
So,
oh, well, that's interesting.
who knew that?
No. I was hoping, but I don't see one. Here. I have so many projects. So not only is there yarn always everywhere, but there's always a lot of projects. And I'm wondering, I did start one project with brushed alpaca, and no, I was hoping maybe I had it here, but I don't, unfortunately. No.
What are you wearing right now?
This is from their summer. It's from summer from 2019. It's 1908 catalog, and it's Duo, which is their cotton merino blend. And it's Duo and a strand of thin silk mohair. And it is just super soft and yummy. And Duo is another favorite, I have to say. It's just a nice, it's a good transition yarn. It's, you know, that kind of cotton merino blend. It's good for spring. It's good on a cool summer night. It's good heading into fall. It's yeah.
Was that like a little smaller than a worsted, like a DK?
It's a DK. So that's the other nice thing, is a lot of their yarns fall into that category of like 22 stitches per 4 inches. So their patterns can be translated across a number of fibers. So you could do alpaca or Peer Gynt or Smart or Duo or Merino or Double Sunday. I'm sure I'm missing one. Spot is another one. Spot is alpaca merino blend, which is really, really nice. Those are all in the same category. So, you know, you can have a pattern, you know, for summer and still be able to knit it, you know, in the fall with just a different fiber. So,
and Double Sunday, why is that named Double Sunday?
I'm going to guess, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to guess that it is double Sunday. So Sunday was the first yarn that they developed with Petite Knit, and it's a fingering, 28 stitches to 4 inches. It's a fingering weight, non-superwash merino. And my guess is it's about double.
That's,
Or at least
I
they-
was going with the,
Okay.
let's go bring it back to the Petite Knit connection, because she's been doing a lot with you guys, and that's why they called it Double Sunday.
Yeah, so it's that she has been amazing. I mean, she really, I love her designs. I mean, I think COVID has been great for the designers on Instagram. I think people are just finding all kinds of new things. And so many of the Scandinavian designers are really, they do use Sandnes Garn quite a bit. And they've just been prolific with these beautiful designs. And her patterns are gorgeous. I love her patterns. I think they're very, they translate for everybody.
So, Wendy, anything? I'm not trying to.
No, I've asked, I guess I had one question about what's the difference between silk mohair and the thin silk mohair?
There you go.
So thin silk mohair is 25 grams.
Mm-hmm.
Silk mohair is 50 grams, but it's not double the length. It's about 280 meters for silk and about 212 for thin silk mohair. And it's really more just about the fiber. It has a lot more
Right.
halo, a lot more,
The
it's
silk mohair has more halo, right?
it does.
It's
It does.
fluffier, it's kind of, okay.
It is. It's a bit fluffier.
Mhm.
So we've been out of stock in the gray thin silk mohair for a while, as you know.
Mhm.
And so I think that Patty had actually ordered some of the silk mohair just to kind of carry you over.
Right, right.
We use it interchangeably. I always do. If I, personally, if I'm knitting something and we don't have enough in stock of the color, I want to steal some to
Right.
make a sweater,
You'll just use the other.
I'll use the other. And I do have retailers who'll do that, who will just
Mhm.
buy based on the
Whatever you
color.
have, right.
It's not going to throw off your gauge.
Okay.
I've not seen that happen. We've
Right.
done it even with sample knitters. We'll send them silk mohair if we don't have thin silk, and it doesn't cause any, so go by, my suggestion would be pick the color you like.
Mhm.
I want to know which one is tinsel. I'm back to the tinsel because we should probably wrap it up, but I want to know about tinsel before we go.
The thin silk mohair?
Tinsel, shiny. No, nothing but tinsel. I thought you said tinsel before.
I think we do.
No, it's tin
Oh,
silk.
Oh, tin
like-
silk.
Yeah,
I was going to
TYNN,
it
it's
was
like,
tinsel, like from a Christmas tree. Oh,
But we do I have 2 yarn lines, and what's really funny is they come through. Sandnes Garn. See,
tin
there you
silk.
I thought you said tinsel.
Yeah.
go.
Dang.
Well, they do have gold and silver, and for some reason, all of a sudden, everybody wants them. So
Oh, there you go.
there must be somebody doing something fun with that.
Ladies, do we need to
Thank you.
thank you? Thank you, Lori.
No, thank you guys. We're so happy we have such lovely retailers. And again, like our goal is to really keep Sandnes Garn as a special sort of boutique yarn. We want it to be special for the retailers that carry it. So thank you both for bringing it into your shops.
Great.
Thank you, and
Thank
have
you.
fun on Woolwalk, you two.
Yeah, you too, Nancy.
Oh, I'm looking forward
Thanks
to
for
it,
pulling us
Wendy. I
together.
really am. So I'll see
Oh,
you
we'll have fun.
on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, bye, girls.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.